Sorry, man.
Oh, LTU.
I dropped the ball.
That's all right, man. We forgive you. Here, it's actually, maybe you know this. Do you think there's a way I could hook up the Amazon cloud service to my Android device?
The S3? Yeah, you probably could. The Amazon
just bypass Google altogether and just use the Amazon cloud as my storage device.
I think if you get the Android Amazon Market or the Android Amazon App Store or whatever they call it, there may be a capability in there. You have to download their App Store to your Android device, and then you have it may be in there.
You know what's really funny is I would actually probably never use this while I was on my cell phone data. I'd only use it when I was either tethered or when I was on Wi-Fi. I would never use it on my cell phone data because I would eat it up too fast.
Yeah, and we talked about that last time. That's what's going to be bumping up against all these cloud services is the carriers are like, no, you got a cap. You can't go over that.
Naughty, naughty, naughty. You've been a naughty boy. Yeah. YouTube announcing the movie rental service. Up to, I believe, $5, $4 or $5 a movie, something like that. Up to from 99 cents. Is this going to impact Netflix at all?
Not a bit.
No. Really?
It's going to give them pause. It's going to be like, what are they doing? But I don't think it's... Considering you got $9 and it's all you can eat on Netflix versus $4 on YouTube for one movie temporarily, nah.
Plus, you've got the streaming service from Netflix.
Yeah. Say Netflix is like, what are they doing? And it's like, oh, that's what they're doing. Okay, we're good. Let's keep going. Move along.
I think instead of competing directly with Netflix, I think the YouTube movie rental is really going to appeal to the person who doesn't watch a lot of movies, who doesn't watch a lot of DVDs, who watches a lot of YouTube, and thinks, oh wow, that movie would be cool. Why don't I rent that? It's only $5.
But
who don't know about Netflix.
On the other hand, Google's going to YouTube is Google. They're going to have to play catch up on this because Netflix is really entrenched at this point. They're going to have to play catch up in terms of their service, their offerings, the ability to do it to any device. That's built into your Wii. That's built into your Blu-ray player. That's built in. It's on everything. So Google will have to move to catch up to Netflix's saturation right now.
Catching up to Netflix. One more story I want to talk about before we sign off. The city of Boston is now demanding, they have filed an emergency petition with the FCC demanding the right to regulate prices for basic cable services in that city.
Go Boston!
Go Boston, man. Go for it. I hope you get it. TMM Thomas M. Menino requests this action after Comcast increased their basic rate by 18% this year. This is for basic cable service. Comcast continues to disproportionately burden working families by targeting the basic rate for significant increases. Back in 2008, the actual price for basic cable was $9.05 in modern terms. That went up to $15.80 in 2011 in Boston for Comcast.
There was no additional services provided. This
is just basic. We're going to turn the wire on service.
Right.
See, people that only use the internet, basic cable, you only get like 5 news channels and some like maybe ESPN if you're lucky.
It's about the 30 channels, and some of those are just like the public access kind of stuff. But
yeah, I honestly wonder how many people know what basic cable is. I don't.
And it's people are going, well, it's just $5. No, $5 is a lot
per month. When all you get is basic service,
it's like 16 channels. That's not very much.
Right. There was no value added here. There was. It was just we're going to charge more for the same thing.
The argument here is that the Boston market became unregulated, mostly because RCN. Well, they basically were bought out and defaulted. RCN was the other cable service provider in Boston, and now the only cable service provider in Boston is Comcast. And RCN can no longer provide service there. They couldn't meet any of the requirements that were met on them, couldn't afford anything, bought out by an equity firm. So basically, Comcast could basically do whatever the heck they wanted. And the trend is very obvious. After RCN was bought out, that's when the rate hikes started with Comcast. So so Boston is basically saying, listen, we need to regulate you. You're being abusive to us. I hope Boston gets away with it. I hope Boston gets what they need, because honestly, the local monopolies are the things that are actually killing us here in America. The local monopolies really have a stranglehold on us here.
Lithuania. This boggles my mind. They just reported Lithuania has got most people a readily accessible fiber optic service.
Yep.
Lithuania.
What?
Lithuania has per capita the most connected nation in the world.
Lithuania.
Now, I'm not saying Lithuania is a bad place, but you don't think of Lithuania as being the center of technology.
If they can do it, why can't we? This is ridiculous.
Now, to be fair, Lithuania is a very small nation, very small. However, props to Lithuania, former Soviet. I don't want to say possession. Former Soviet nation, we'll say. How's that sound? Near Russia, they've got a good basketball team, says Potato Salad. But here's my problem, though. Compare Lithuania to, say, New York City. New York City, much more densely packed than Lithuania, and yet doesn't meet Lithuania's standard for internet access.
Yeah, it would be so easy in New York City, how close everybody is. You could put just a fiber everywhere.
Here's the problem. We have fiber everywhere. Just nobody uses it. The city is... in fact, New York City has more people than the entire nation of Lithuania living in it. 7.5 million people compared to Lithuania's 3 million. There are more people per square foot in this city than there are in the entire country of Lithuania, and we still don't have anywhere near the high end in internet service out here in New York City, because we are being strangled by these local cable companies.
Without the competition, there is no motivation to provide a better service.
That's what it boils down to. I think that's what it boils down to. Anyway, going to boil this episode down into one little stew of mush and then push it out on the website. Nash LTU, thank you for joining me today. Appreciate it.
Happy to.
Great. And we'll see you next time on Tuesday Tech Talk with Nash.
Bye, B.
Alrighty. Recording stopped.
Awesome.
Okay, so the Adobe dev site just released some information regarding the new rewrite of Flash. Codename Thunder. Kind of clever, you know. Thunder, lightning, all that. Modest improvement in performance by 120 to 340%. Nice. It'll have a new version for Macintosh. No smooth video playback on Linux just yet. And I bet you believe me there for a minute. I wish that were real.
Smooth video playback.
Flash is going to die.
Yep, I hope so. I mean...
Flash will die eventually.
Adobe making something for Macintosh. I don't know. Is it even called Macintosh anymore?
Chronicles
Or they just get rid of that and just call it Mac?
Oh, do you mind if I... there's a guy in the channel was asking about the e-cigarette. You mind if I...
Yeah, no, go ahead, man.
Deal that? All right, you want a decent but not bank-breaking e-cigarette. Okay. Try and make it as simple as possible. There's a model out there that's easy use for new users, long battery life, and fairly reliable. It's called the Ego T. Small e, capital G, small O, dash T. I'll type it out in the channel. It's got an all-day, pretty much 6 to 8 hour battery life per battery. It includes 2 batteries. Now, in terms of bank breaking, you can get the basic kit for around $50 to $60, depending on where you shop. But that's a kit with 2 batteries, a charger, 2 atomizers, and that's enough to get you for, as far as atomizers goes, at least the first 2 months. Atomizers do burn out. They're the part of the e-cigarette that actually heats up the liquid, and eventually they die off. But you could probably expect to replace those at a rate of about 1 a month, and that's about $10 a month.
Is there an official site for this?
No. Lots of different places sell them. That's the great thing. Tons.
I mean, like, there's no official site for them.
No.
Okay.
But you can Google it, and you can find out tons of information about it.
Amazon. That's what they got.
Amazon probably they might sell it, but they might not. That now if they are a big, they're kind of clunky. They're larger. If you need one that's more compact, there's a 510T. It works the same way, and the T stands for a tank. It means it's the newer and it's simpler way of doing it. It's a little tiny plastic tank you fill with liquid instead of having to deal with these little cartridges where you have to fill this little cotton batting material to make it work. The tanks make it simpler. The 510T, the advantage on that one is it's smaller, it's a little more discreet, but the battery life on that is awful because it's a tiny 180 milliamp hour battery, and you get maybe 2 hours at best off of one. Now,
Starting to think of that Family Guy episode. Are you smoking yet?
So yeah, I would recommend the Ego T for long life, ease of use. It's easy for a new user to figure out how to use it. And if you want to get off smoking and you want to get something better in your lungs, the vaporizers are much better. And what is an e-cigarette? It's portable vaporizer is what it is. Instead of inhaling smoke, you're inhaling water vapor that has nicotine and flavoring in it. That's it. It's just the only harmful element you're getting is the nicotine. No carcinogens, no arsenic, no tar, no other unlisted additives they put in it.
I take it you smoke, or rather use these?
I do.
And if you had to choose between, say, like a pack of Marlboro or whatever you used to smoke and the e-cigarette.
E-cigarette. The day I got this in the mail, I haven't had a cigarette since.
Really? How many cartridges do you go through?
Well, it's not in terms of cartridges, in terms of how much liquid you use. I go through about a bottle every week and a half, and the bottles are about $8 each.
So cheaper than cigarettes.
Much. And I go through
considering a pack costs like $12, man. Shit.
And you use the Ego T.
I use a 510T because I use it because it was compatible with the older 510 model, and it works. I just had to replace the atomizer, and it works with all the equipment I already have.
Okay. I'm gonna have to actually find one of the Ego T 510T then.
Yeah. It's I have to replace an atomizer maybe about once a month. That's another $10. The battery thing, I built my own battery unit for it because the batteries are proprietary. I built a little battery unit that uses a lithium-ion battery that you can buy anywhere for like $5. The regular batteries, they burn out eventually, like anywhere from 3 to 6 months. They burn out, and you have to replace them, and they're about $15 to $20 depending on the type of battery you're getting. But these little lithium-ion ones, they're $5 each. You can get them anywhere. But there are tons of different models. These are just the ones I recommend because they're easy to use. They may not be the best model, but they take the least fiddling for new users. It's the least you have to screw around with it, and they're readily available everywhere. So there's tons of different sites you can get them for lower prices.
Do they let you bring those inside, like, say, a store?
There's no law against it, but trying to get people, regular, normal people, to understand the difference is a struggle because you're combating their inborn stupidity. It makes smoke. It's not smoke. It's water vapor. No, it look like you look like you smoke and you smoke. No, look.
Now you can tell it's not smoke because it doesn't have the same burning eyes effect as smoke has. Because we were in that van with you, and the water vapor did drift, behind you. Uh-huh. It doesn't have the same odor. It doesn't have the same burning sensation either.
Yeah, and it dissipates. It actually dissipates. It
actually dissipates. So
I used to smoke when I did my show, and by the end of my show, my entire room looked like the inside of a club because there was just like this smoke from for about waist height up to the ceiling. There was this cloud in my room.
You go outside your door, you see people lined up trying to get in. Oh, God.
Yeah.
It's not a club. Get out of here.
That's
pretty cool. I didn't know that it was really that cheap. My mom's been smoking.
They have amaretto flavoring. Holy shit!
They do.
Nice.
Hey, and the nice thing is, if you don't smoke,